Okay, good evening, everyone. Whatcom County and beyond. We have a lot to talk about tonight, and let's just make sure everybody is getting going here on the live, and everything is looking good. It looks like YouTube. Alex is here. Good evening. I saw him watching Benjamin's live earlier. So let's take a look here at the Facebook page. Okay, I'm not sure if it's running or not. Made a couple of changes. Let me see if the Facebook page is up. Let's see. Jen is on YouTube. Leslie is on YouTube. Amy is on YouTube. Okay, we gotta just see if Facebook is up. Everybody is on YouTube. I'm not sure about Facebook here. I was trying to change something and maybe I messed up something again. Let me just take a look and see. Okay, hang on. Let me see if I have a problem with the Facebook side because it looks like YouTube is running just fine. Let me just check one or two things out here real quick. It says I'm streaming on Facebook, so I think anybody on Facebook, send a comment through. Good evening, YouTube. Hit the like button, please, if you're on. Okay, Alex says Facebook is up and running, so everybody can hear me, hopefully. And good evening. Just coming live from my office. I wish I was out chasing, but alas, not going to happen. I did think about going up to Mount Baker today, and that also did not happen. So you'll see the radar up here. And I actually kind of want to zero into the south of here tonight to start with, and then we'll talk about what's happened at Mount Baker. I think you might be surprised. Well, maybe not, but there is a lot of snow that has come in the past 12 hours up at Mount Baker. So, okay, loud and clear on Facebook. Okay, so you can see the green is rain, generally speaking, a little bit heavier here. As you zoom in north of Sultan, east of Everett, the yellow's heavier. But look at all the blue is snow or wintry precip. But Snoqualmie Pass looks like it's getting hit well. Stevens Pass, if you've been watching Washington Weather Chasers and Benjamin and Jonathan up there tonight, you will see that they have been hit, or up there at Stevens Pass, they've got 2 to 3 inches per hour dropping there up on the pass. So, yeah, crazy night. Mount Baker snowing pretty well, 2 inches in the last hour, I believe, as well. And I'll show you that in just a minute. But you can see these mountains are getting hit well down to our south as well. I can switch radar. Let me just make sure everybody's seeing this. Let me move this a little bit. Let me just switch this down to the Portland radar, and let's see. And again, these radars get blocked by certain things. It's raining heavily down in, looks like down in the Portland area here. Let me get the city maps on it, or the city names on it, and government camp. And down here, it looks like it's snowing. Again, the radar gets blocked by the hills and different things. But it looks like we got snow pretty well through the Cascades down into Oregon. So this is great news. Let me just say that this has been forecasted a few days before, and as far as I can tell, the forecast is holding up quite well, as we'll see in just a minute on the Mount Baker side. Before I go any further, a good evening also to the, it looks like Facebook is up and going, and if you would love that, love the feed over there, and like the YouTube, please, that helps us, and share. If you haven't subscribed to YouTube, even if you don't watch on YouTube, please subscribe. We're hoping to be able to chase some lowland snow at some point this year, but we'll see if there's anything as well with that. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. Good, George. Glad you're able to got the calendars. Excellent. Excellent. Glad you got them. My wife helped me out because we got a bunch of orders that came in. By the way, if you stick around long enough at the end, I'll give away a couple of calendars as well, and you just have to be on here and following, watching, and then we'll do that at the end. So I may have to give away a bigger prize because I think I'm going to get the other thing I said on Saturday night correct, and that is have a 100-inch snow base up at the ski area, and we're well on the way at this point. And we haven't, it's 8:30 here tonight, so Let's pull the radar here real quickly from BC, and you can see mostly has stopped raining in the lowlands. I'm going to change this over to reflectivity. Just a little bit of precip still hanging around. Now, up in the mountains, we can't see very well, but as far as I know, it was still snowing up at Baker the last I had seen here. So, and I just lost the radar, so oops. That just shut down. So let me just turn right over here to the hazards viewer and observation. So let's take a look at where we are. I've got a few things open. Hopefully you can see my little chart here, or the little map of Whatcom County. And everybody's in the 40s, pretty much, low to mid 40s. Obviously up in the mountain it isn't. And up in the ski area it is, let me pull it, 26 degrees at Heather Meadows tonight. 30 on the top of Sumas Mountain, about 3,000 feet up. But the rest of us in the lowlands, in the foothills area, you know, low 40s, maybe upper 30s as we scroll out a little bit. Skagit kind of in that same area across our border here, across the border to BC, is also seeing the same. Don't ask me what that is in Celsius, but it's above zero. That their mountains look like they're getting hit hard, and we'll show that as well. There is continuing to see some wind here. Sumas gusting to 26, so, and 15 here on my station, 19 in looks like Poland Guide, and then down here in the Bellingham area 17. So still some southerly wind ongoing here as we continue on into the evening hours, but the wind advisory has expired. And let me just show you some of the max wind gusts from today. I don't have the exact time on this, but hopefully you can see this. This is the max wind gust. We almost hit 50 at the airport, 48, 47 in Ferndale. I always think that station's a little suspect, but a lot of 30s, 34, 31 up in Blaine and Birch Bay area, 31 here in Linden, 32 in Sumas. And give or take, this might be a little bit, you know, depending on how high these anemometers, mine is exactly 10 meters off the ground, so it should be pretty accurate, although there's got some trees that might be blocking a little bit of the southerlies. So, you know, and then up across the border, we had a 40. It looks like, I think that's the airport. Yeah, 40 at the Abbotsford Airport. Let's see if we can find anything. 31 up here, across the Fraser up toward Maple Ridge. 29 up in the... by the airport in Vancouver. So I don't have a lot of reporting stations across the border up on this map. So anyway, it looks like Lindsay on YouTube is reporting really windy up in Chilliwack. So I wish I had a station up there I could look at. But anyway, so that's kind of where we are. Precip, I pulled the 36 hour, you know, the last day and a half. And you can see the airport got half an inch. I got 0.6, 2/3 of an inch, you know, between a little under a half an inch to a little over a half an inch. Sumas, that station up there, always gets more than anybody else. Almost an inch here reported up in Deming, although 0.55 just down the road. And I believe one of these stations is a person I know. I just can't remember which station it is. Not that 0.99 seems a little suspect just compared to everything else, but you can get the general idea. Let's see what Baker's had. Mount Baker has had 0.85 in the same time period. Okay, let's see what 0.85 ends up in the snow. How much snow has fallen up there as well. So let's take a look at that as we... Yeah, oh, 3/4 of an inch up towards, is that Cultus Lake? Yeah, just north side of Cultus Lake. And yeah, and then 0.80 up here towards, but looks like BC got hit really good up here across the river. And this would include, you know, this started last night for them, and it kind of sagged south for us in the early morning hours. So anyway, down in Mount Vernon, Skagit, looks like we got similar numbers, and enough of that. Let's take a look at Mount Baker snow. Look at this. Let me just make sure. I think I have everything up. And again, really appreciate all the people following here tonight. We got a bigger following, and we're going to show you some of the mountain ski areas here in just a bit. We don't have a webcam up at Mount Baker, but what we do have is this chart. And this is the Mount Baker ski area. We're looking at the 4210. That's how the elevation, 4,210. That's 26 degrees at 8 o'clock. If we're on here long enough, we'll check the 9 o'clock reading. But over here, we have the 24-hour snow. They reset the snow board at 7 in the morning. Okay? That's 19 inches. 19 inches of snow. Are you ready? Since 7 this morning at Mount Baker ski area. That is absolutely incredible. Let me say that again. 19 inches of snow since 7 this morning at Mount Baker. That followed up on 6 on the previous. So they have 25 inches in the last 48 hours of snow. We'll see what this registers when we refresh at the 9 o'clock if we're still live, and we probably will be. But that is absolutely incredible to see. It's one of the epic snow dumps that we get at Mount Baker every year. We get one of these or 2 of these or 3 of these. And so, good night, Alex. And good to see you, Keith, too. But this is just crazy. So we got 1 inch, and then it went to 3 inches, and then to 5, to 6, to 8, to 9, to 11. This, I don't know what 46 is. Something, I don't know. I'm going to have to find that out. I don't know if the snow levels off a little bit and causes that. But then it went from 11, over the next couple hours, went up to 16, 17, 19. So that's at least an inch, sometimes 2 inches per hour up today at the ski area. And I'm guessing, I know the precip is backed off here, but I'm going to guess that they may push 2 feet in this 24-hour period at Mount Baker ski area. Okay? Now let's take a look at the snow report. Hopefully I've got this still going just fine. Hang on 1 second. Make sure everybody is still watching. Yeah, okay. We're on the snow report here. 26 degrees. This was of 6 o'clock and 23 at Pan Dome. They're called. Okay. The other night, hold me to this. I believe I'm right. They had 50 inches at Heather Meadows as a snow base. And I said, I will give something away, more than a calendar, if they hit 100 by Friday. Was that what I said? Friday night. Okay? Friday. Let's just say Friday. They are already halfway there. Their snow base is sitting at 75 inches. And that doesn't count from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And if you go back here, the snow base is at 78 inches now. I can tell you that right now because that's what it says, assuming that's accurate. Okay? So Pan Dome, which is about 1,800 feet higher, which I think was closed down today. If you watch this video, and they said that here, it was going to be Chair 6 was closed, and the POW, the POW on top of Pan will be completely untouched, meaning it was closed today. When it opens tomorrow, less wind, because they had it closed because of wind, they're going to have over 120 inches of a base at Pan Dome, 5,000 feet. Can you imagine what Artist Point looks like tonight? That's about the same level, snow level, or sea level, above sea level height. That's crazy. I mean, that's 10 feet of snow base. And by tomorrow, they're going to probably have 82, 83 inches. So that's about 7 feet of snow base at the ski area. This is going to go down as one of those big time storms. And this is the first. The second storm that's coming next will probably be a little less, but that is just a crazy amount of snow coming at Mount Baker. I wish we had a cam. We're under a winter storm warning, so just kind of moving over to that. Tonight they're calling for 3 to 7 more inches. Tomorrow 5 to 9. Tomorrow night 3 to 5. 2 to 4 on Thursday. And then as things dry out as we go into Friday, not much snow left. But again, that's another 21. That's another potential 1.5 to 2 feet coming to Mount Baker ski area. Okay, epic snow at the ski area, and as well as we're going to take a look at just a minute at the other areas down in the Cascades. We're still under that winter storm warning, 2 to 4 feet. So Mount Baker, since the storm warning went in at, was that this morning it went in? Or are we Tuesday? Yeah. So this morning, I think it went in, Mount Baker has 19 inches. So they have almost got to the 2 feet mark. And I suspect by tomorrow morning it'll be close. Don't know if they'll get quite the 2 feet because our moisture is kind of running lower, but that is, this winter storm warning is, this goes till 4 p.m. Thursday, by the way. This is unfolding as was forecasted. Okay. One other thing I want to note, non-snow related, while I have this tab up, we do have another coastal flood advisory from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. Again, because of the king tides and the moon and all that business. But I haven't heard of any issues because the wind and the combination, thankfully, hasn't been come together to make it a big issue. But I do want to mention that tonight, that we do have that coastal flood advisory in place. And then I just wanted to show you also the snow levels at Heather Meadows and I keep an eye on this Thursday time frame for some lowland snow. Now, I don't think it's going to be much, but we're going to have to keep an eye. These snow levels are down to 400 and ultimately could be down even further if we have any moisture left. So that would tell me foothills could see some. Accumulation, don't know. I'm not saying we're going to have a bunch of accumulation down here, by the way. I would say, maybe some flakes in the air, maybe some sticking on grass, maybe. But with elevation, that would help. So, for instance, up in the foothills, Church Road in Ferndale, I'm just naming off some places, the Samish Hills or Chuckanets, whatever you want to call them, up in the Maple Falls and Glacier as we get even higher up the mountain or up the hill, so to speak. Some of those elevations could see some snow, and this would be wet snow coming on Thursday. And we'll take a look at the weather models here in just a minute to see if that might happen. That if they're catching on to anything. And those snow levels stay below ski area level until Sunday-ish, and then we warm up, and it's gonna jump. But yes, Galbraith Mountain would be another one. Yeah, any mountain, with elevation, even U Street Hill or Alabama Hill. Is that possible that some of those places could see? And even a little lower, again, is there any moisture left? This would probably be more in the morning time. And again, we'll take a look at that in just a minute. But we got the snow levels going to be starting to go up. Now, there won't be, the reason this is going up is not because of an atmospheric river and a warm bunch of rain coming. Instead, it's a ridge. It's going to dry us out. And the temperatures are actually going to be very pleasant next week. Toward the end of this week, or probably more into next week, as we'll see in just a minute. So just wanted to note that as well. Before I get to the weather models here tonight, let's take a look at the mountain cams. And I might not have set this up very well. Hold on one second here. I'm just going to show you my display capture here, as I forgot to set this in motion. But here, hopefully you can see the mountain cams. Let's take a look at a few of the areas. Take a look at Whistler here tonight. So you can see it is, you can just click on any of these webcams and you can see, down here in the light, it just moved it, but it's snowing. You can just see it. This is at the Roundhouse Lodge, about 6,000 feet up on the mountain. And then there's snow stake here. But even down here to 2,200 feet, they've got snow. Look at this. My wife and I were in this very place in October. I want to go up in one of these times when it's snowing. But look at this beautiful snow here in Whatcom. So anyway, I got to be careful because sometimes this will cause the YouTube live to freeze up. So let's take a look at Mount Rainier here. This was earlier. Well, no, it's 8:50. You can see it snowing, it looks like, here at Mount Rainier National Park. A lot of these cameras, it's too dark to see right now. But up at Stevens Pass, you can see this. Look at this Stevens Pass snow stake. Look at this. I mean, it's just like you can hardly see it back there. So you can't really see for sure how much is there, but it is really snowing up here. You can just see it. And also, if you look at Washington Weather Chasers, Ben and Jonathan are up there. They're going to play. They've been playing in the snow, et cetera, et cetera. And you can just see it snowing in just about any one of these cameras here up at the pass. And then if we look at the actual the actual WashDOT pass cam. That is if you can see through them. We'll start from the furthest west here at West Stevens Pass. Big windy, is too dark. West Stevens Summit's it's just too windy, too much snow. Same thing at the East Summit. So we're really not being able to see much. Cole's Corner down as you're coming closer to Leavenworth, and I think this is where they have it kind of detoured. I think it's near here, and you go around to because of the problem in Tumwater Canyon there with the washout by the river. But it's snowy here. This is where that diner is right here. You can't quite see. It's kind of behind this camera. So you can see, though, that even as you go lower here at Stevens Pass, even though we can't really see much from their cameras, it's clearly snowing. So, yeah, we can take a look at the forecast, Cassie, on Thursday. You might be okay by Thursday, or at least it's going to start. Although the mountains always end later than the rain in the lowlands, so to speak. Thursday afternoon might not, hopefully. We'll take a look in a bit here. We can take a look at that. Snoqualmie, let's just quick go through the webcams here. There was a big lineup here earlier of people. Yeah, there's still some trucks, it looks like, preparing, and then maybe taking off the chains coming back. But, yeah, this was jammed up earlier tonight. Some of these you're not going to be able to see very well just because it's dark. But there's Franklin Falls. If you know where these places are from going west to east, Snoqualmie Summit, again, that's not a very good picture. But here you can see how snowy it is at the East Summit. And then Hyack. And then as you start coming down, and you can kind of see the snow on the hills there behind. There's the snow shed. I mean, you can see the snow, a lot of snow on up at 90 here. It's hard to tell how much it is, coming down at Snoqualmie. Here was Stampede Pass, if you know where that is. Looks like the roads aren't too bad. Here's Easton coming back down now, the east side. So you get the idea of what it's doing tonight. Chains are required on all vehicles except all-wheel drive. Okay? Chains required on all vehicles except all-wheel drive, both westbound and eastbound on Snoqualmie. And the same for Stevens. Chains required on all vehicles except all-wheel drive as of, earlier, but I'm sure, they've not updated the temperature on the Stevens Pass. It's got to be cooler than that. But you can see here what's going on tonight at the passes. So not much we're going to see on some of these, but White Pass, if you know where White Pass is, on, I believe, Highway 12. And I was going to try to show you some of this, but it's kind of hanging up. But you can see it's snowing there. Hurricane Ridge, I know that's over in the Olympics, so they are getting snow. And then down into Oregon. And then the last picture was at 8:54, but it still appears to be snow down at Timberline, down in Oregon Cascades tonight. So you see a lot of snow. And let's take a quick look while I have this up at the forecast for a couple of the pass areas here. Let me just grab this real quick here. Thanks again for joining. Let me take a minute to just say appreciate all of you guys and gals joining tonight. Please give a thumbs up on the YouTube. There's a lot of people on YouTube tonight. Really appreciate that. We're going to take a look at the forecast here in just a minute, see what might be coming. If you're on Facebook, please love. The more comments, the better as well. So appreciate it. And I am not able to get out and do what Ben and Jonathan are doing at this point. Just because of my responsibilities with my kids and other things here. But if we get any snow in Whatcom County down in the lowlands, we'll be out. So I really appreciate that. If you share, make sure you subscribe. At some point, this super chat is supposed to be set up, but I have not had time to get to all of that. So there is a way to show your support and super chat and all of that. It's just hard for me to keep up, honestly, with all these things in social media world. So, if you also, and I'll just show you this, if you go over to Ko-Fi, I have set up a Whatcom County weather, and I can put this in as well. If you appreciate these live streams, and I'll just dump this into the chat. Hopefully that'll go up both Facebook and YouTube, but you can always tip there. but you don't have to. You know, if we can just, we're trying to keep it free for everybody at this point. So, but I really appreciate the support as well. So, okay, let's take a look at Steven's past forecast since that question has come up. And I'm just going to take a look at the NOAA forecast without diving into the details too much. Thursday, we've got a 90% chance of snow. Okay, right now it's heavy snow, and then dense freezing fog. That's interesting. But they're talking about 10 to 14 inches tonight, 4 to 8 tomorrow, 3 to 7 Wednesday night, and then Thursday, 2 to 4 inches, high near 28. So yes, there is a chance of snow, but by that time, hopefully, there will be an opportunity to, you know, the roads to get under control and the WashDOT clearing, plowing, whatever they're doing. So maybe by Thursday, while there is snow and it'll start drying out as we go into Thursday night-ish or overnight into Friday, I don't think Thursday would be a better day than tomorrow to travel over Stevens Pass. Let's just say it that way. So hopefully by Thursday mid-afternoon, the roads are in better shape for Cassie, who was asking earlier about that. Tomorrow's not going to be a fun day at the pass, although they're probably going to, you know, once there's less traffic, although there isn't a huge amount probably at Stevens just with the road issue and all of that. But they're probably going to at least get that side, you know, from Seattle, so to speak, or from Everett up to the pass. They're probably going to work that really hard, more than even the east side. I'm just kind of guessing there. I'm sure they're going to work on the east side as well. But anyway, you know, Thursday should be a little better in my opinion. Snoqualmie Pass. Take a look at Snoqualmie Pass. It'll probably be similar to what we just said than Stevens, except Snoqualmie is, you know, about 1,000 feet lower. Again, they're calling for rain, snow at Snoqualmie, so I don't know if the temp is warmed up just a little bit, but heavy snow on Wednesday, snow on Wednesday night, and then Thursday they're calling for a 90% chance of snow, but when you dive in the details, they're saying 1 to 2 inches possible. Oh, excuse me, 3 to 5 possible. So Snoqualmie, yeah, again, the best day of the next two will be Thursday. Friday would be even better because it's going to start drying out, as we're going to see in just a minute. So I guess if you had a choice between Thursday and Friday, Friday would be better. But I think Thursday later afternoon, they'll get the handle on these things. Let me get to that in the forecast in just a minute. And I haven't even I'm kind of watching the comments, but I'll get to the warm-up coming. And I would say no to the flooding thing. No to the flooding. This is going to be a drying out period of warm-up. With the ridge, although we need to look at the details here in a little bit closer. Let me just pull up my Twitter here feed, and George was mentioning that I-90 was closed earlier. I guess I knew there was accidents, but okay, so they're calling Mount Baker. I think Claire works for Cairo, right? No, Fox. She said 20 inches. That would be from Okay, so that must be. Maybe you saw the post I put up right before this one. If you take a look, hold on a second. Snoqualmie Pass had put this post up, WashDOT, and here they had. Oh yeah, George, I see this. It was closed. You're right, eastbound, between North Bend and the Summit due to crashes. I missed that. Totally missed that after this earlier update. Because they had it open both directions, but it looks like it's back open now. And we just mentioned that chains are required, so yes. But you can see what they're dealing with at the passes. White Pass, Highway US 12, and I-90, and yeah, it's just, look at this. And I don't know which pass is which, but you can see the fun that or lack of fun that they were having. Somebody was asking if there was a patrol vehicle hit, and I got to be careful because I thought I'd read that there was one hit, but I don't remember if that was at the pass or if that was somewhere else. And looks like we had I'd have to look at the PIO, the Washington State Patrol PIO. Earlier, there was something about that. but I don't know if it was at the pass or if that was somewhere else. So not sure if that was a patrol vehicle or not. Okay, everyone, let's take a look at the forecast. So let me switch over to that here real quick. Should be able to put that up. Take that one off. So here we go. Let's take a look at tonight's GFS. It should be all done, and we'll take a look at, well, almost done here. Snow. We'll take a look at, hang on one second. We'll take a look at rain, precip coming, and if there's any wind, and then what's coming for next week or at the end of the week. So let's put the GFS. You can see this trough coming down from basically from way up here. See how it originates way up here, kind of Alaska, Gulf of Alaska, way up here in the North BC and way up in the north. And comes on down. And you can see here, this will be the second round coming into Thursday. And then you can see this ridge start to kind of become in charge a little bit as this trough kind of pushes into the, whatever, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. They're going to cool down, it looks like. And then it kind of it doesn't die, but it pushes off. And you see this ridge start setting up. And it'll regurgitate, so to speak. And look at that ridge kind of set up, almost centered over, it's not centered over Whatcom County, but it's kind of centered off the coast just a little bit. And it's not a absolutely enormous ridge, but it'll be enough to probably stop the systems for a few days. There has been some hints that there might be a trough or two trying to sneak in, as you can see right there. Let me just make sure I have this up. Yeah. And then the ridge regurgitates kind of up into the Gulf of Alaska or off the BC coast. You can see the East Coast or whatever, the East may cool down here. And I don't know if that's could bring them some storms. Probably depends on where there. But that ridge is really wanting to set up here, and then we're gonna have to keep an eye on this. This ridge wants to be retrograde. What's what we call retrograde. It's backing off to the west, so to speak. And if that thing sets up over Alaska, that's going to open up a potential for cold air coming to us. Okay? It's been starting to show this, but it is so far out. This is 2 weeks out yet. So way too far out. But if that ridge starts showing right in this area, see what happens? See that right there? And that's kind of where the run ended tonight. That could open the door for some winter mischief down here for us. But way too far out. But keep an eye on this ridge. I'm rerunning this because I refreshed it. As it backs off and retrogrades to Alaska, that opens the door right here for cold air to come to us. Right here. Right there. Okay? So one thing that is helpful, I'm going to pull this up. Let me make sure. Yeah, I got it up. Is to see this. And I'm going to push this out to the end of this run. Don't worry about this. Okay, so I'm going to show you. I'll give you a lesson here tonight. So this is hour 27. This is Sunday, January 18th. As we go into that week, okay, you see these squiggly lines right here? Forget the snow for the minute. See these lines? They're called isobars, okay? Isobars. And they're basically the pressure gradient. They're isobars. They're a measure of pressure. And when they begin to get tightly bunched up like this, and then you start to see an Arctic high start coming down, and I'll show you this on the North American map. This Arctic high, this 1047 high, it's probably not in the best. Oops, that's not where I want to be. Let me see here. I had to refresh that. Where's that Arctic high coming? Well, it was coming down. There it is. This 1046 high up here. It's a little bit further east, but than what we would, want to see. But that, and they're so far out right now. But as you bring this closer here, let me see, where'd that go? Right here. You can see these this Arctic high, and this causes this could set up for Northeast Fraser outflow. Okay, I'm not saying that what's going to happen, but and then we start looking for little L's on the map or little low pressure systems, and that could be snow, like right there, right there, and that's probably some strong wind. Although we'd have to delve into the details, and it's way too far out. But we're keeping an eye, because what this does is this dropping this Arctic air right down towards us and into eastern Washington. A lot of times these things slide east of the Cascades or east of the Rockies even. But once in a while, as we all know, we can get hit pretty good. And so we're going to keep an eye on that. That's just the GFS here showing. Again, there's a lot of details before we'd ever even consider saying this is a forecast. But we'll keep an eye on that for sure. Probably not much else to show on the Euro tonight because it hasn't really started running, or just has. Precip wise, you can see a lot of the precip is to our south now, and then it probably will pick up as picks up as we go in, late morning, early morning, mid morning, somewhere in there. Still mountain snow, a lot more down to the south. So more rain coming and more mountain snow coming tomorrow in the second system. And then as we go into Thursday, late Thursday and Friday, a little bit of mountain snow still, but things start to dry out in the lowlands here. Just not seeing any rain. Okay, there's that system. Well, trying. Okay, interesting. So that little system on Sunday, if we go back to this, hold on a second. I think this system that I talked about here earlier, let's see. Oh, it's this little one right here. Before that ridge starts setting up again, that system right here, that little bit of trough might try to bring some more rain in before this ridge starts up again. So that would be more like on a Sunday. So we're going to have to keep an eye out. So it may not be totally dry coming. And again, we mentioned that on this little shortwave right here trying to come through. And that could also, as we go into Tuesday. So just because we say ridge, there's stuff that's trying to sneak through it. And so we'll have to keep an eye on that. So Sunday's trying to get a little bit of rain. Monday, mostly, well, so is Monday. So this ridge is, while it's there, we may not be able to pull a totally dry forecast for the first part of next week. And that's about as far as we want to go right now. Taking a look at the GFS for snow, which is not the very good map. Here, let me change it to this. It's a low-res map, and it's trying to give a little bit of snow on overnight Wednesday into Thursday in the lowlands. But this is such a low-res map. But you can see, look at all the mountain snow. Even if these numbers aren't perfectly right, again, this is still after what's fallen today. So that's pretty cool. That's good. That's good news. Let me just put this into, and I'll answer some questions if you have any, and I'll try to go back. I've kind of not been able to do that or haven't taken the time. I'm just going to zoom in here. I'm going to take a look at some of the high-res models just to see if they're showing any chance of snow in the lowlands coming up in the next 24 to 36 hours. They're advertising lots of snow in the mountains. Okay, they're trying to give some kind of convergence or down here. Is that Tacoma area? Interesting. The HER is trying to do that. Oh, look at this. Tomorrow it's trying now a lot of this could be in the Samish Hills. Keep an eye on that tomorrow morning. I-5. Yeah, it's not the cool stab at it, but I don't know. Thursday I thought there was maybe a better chance, but there might not be a lot of moisture left, to be honest. So that's interesting what the HER is doing tonight. Let's take a look at the NAM 3K here, and let's just put this in motion. I'm just looking for lowland snow. Again, it's trying to dump some snow tomorrow in those hills, right around, how do I say it? The mountains above Sudden Valley, so to speak. It's not very bullish on it being much lower, but right through that I-5 corridor. Nothing in the lowlands here. The NAM 3K doesn't like anything for the lowlands. Again, these things have a hard time picking up snow, especially when it's such a marginal thing here. And whatever snow would fall won't last long. So again, a little bit in the mountains here. The Canadian high res is showing too. So yeah, it would be a nowcast anyway. Let me take a look at the UW for tonight here. The University of Washington. We can take a look at the win. I just want to see if they are advertising any attempt at snowfall here. I'll take a look at accumulated snowfall. Let me just hold on one second here. Let me move this, make sure you can see that to the center. Zoom in just a little here. Okay, so this is tonight's run. Well, okay, so tomorrow morning, they're also trying to advertise some snow right there in that Samish Hills area. So, and then, yeah, to the east of that, whatever, Stewart Mountain or Sun Valley, Stewart Mountain. I honestly get confused what some of the mountains are. I know up by Black Mountain and Red Mountain are up, towards Silver Lake area. I'm not an expert on some of those. I really am not, and I probably need to learn those better. Let's just keep going as we go into Wednesday. It's trying to give a little bit of something right here. Again, it's gonna oops, don't do that. But not much. Let's see about Thursday. Yeah, and also Thursday in those foothills. So I think we're going to have to keep an eye, especially elevation, but kind of through that I-5 corridor over the next couple days, mornings. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. Okay? Lots of mountain snow coming. Let me take a look at wind real quick, and then I'll do questions, and then I'm going to give away a couple calendars. So if you're still on here, then you will be able to, if you haven't gotten a calendar from me this year, I'm going to give a couple away. So just 1 minute on that. Let's take a look at the wind. Just see. Now that is not the one I wanted. 1 second here. Let's try this one. Let me center this. That's showing the southerlies ongoing here. Looks like continued southerlies. Maybe again tomorrow morning by the water. Blaine, Birch Bay, Bellingham, maybe Ferndale area have some southerlies. Then tails back off. It's just giving us a little bit of idea. So maybe northwesterlies a little bit. Yeah, we got a little bit of a westerly surge coming down the straight, and even some westerlies up towards the water. Blaine, Birch Bay, Bellingham on Thursday morning. Not really seeing anything else that's standing out for wind at this point in the next couple of days. Maybe a little bit on Friday. So nothing that's jumping out. Like we had some decent wind gusts today. There were a few power outages as well. So, okay. Let me do this while I take questions. Let me see if I can pull a picture up here for you all so you can look at Mount Shuckson for a minute while I'm answering questions, and you don't have to look at other boring stuff. So let me see if I can get this to work correctly here. 1 second. 27, no. Let's see if you can see Mount Shuckson now. Should be able to see that. So let me take a look at questions here. Let's go back and just see. Lindsay mentioned up and across the border. Appreciate the coverage. Yep, absolutely. Alex had to go to bed. That's fine. He has an early morning. I answered Cassie's question. Northwest Spirit says hello. Appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like button, please. And also subscribe. Hit the ring button. Do whatever it needs to do. Anyway, and if you want to watch Steven's Pass tonight, Ben and Jonathan on Washington Weather Chasers are streaming up there. So he would also appreciate a like and a follow. He's got a good thing going as he is able to have a little more free time than I am to get to those kinds of places. But looks like, let's see. Okay, Washington State Trooper was hit yesterday. Okay. Not seeing too many other comments here or questions unless I'm just totally missing stuff here. Okay, let me... Oh, I was missing the Facebook. Haha, that's why. Sorry. I was only reading the YouTube comments. Okay. Let's see here. Let's take a look at these Facebook comments. Appreciate the kind words. Hello from Linden. Hi, Shelly. Yeah, Evan probably is bleeding out in the mountains. Lake Padden through the hills towards Skagit. Yeah, and just up in the foothills possibly. So, okay. Okay, so hopefully you can still see. Let me just make sure you can see my Shuckson picture. Hopefully you can see it up there. Okay. Yes. Let's take a minute to give away a couple calendars. 2-3 calendars. Here's how you got to do it. If you're on here, give me a good reason why you want it. No, you're going to have to contact me. Okay, Keith, message me your address, and I'll get you a calendar, and stipulate if you want a mountain or landscape. Those are the 2 that I have. So, okay, hey, Pate, absolutely, I can mail them. And so send me your address. You're going to have to identify who you are. Fake Lady May, have I not given you a calendar? If not, send me your address as well, and choose mountain or landscape. Either you can email me, Steph. Okay, we're up to 4, and that's probably where we're going to cut this tonight. Steph, send me, I know who you are, but a couple of the others, I don't know your addresses. Oh, I don't know Steph's address either, but if you can, please send me either by messenger, but if you're on YouTube, randysmall@yahoo.com. It's just my name at yahoo.com. Okay, and message me. Even if you put what you want on here, I'm not going to go back and look at it. So you've got to contact me basically a second time. I'm sorry about that. So, and Amy, let's get back here. Amy bought a landscape and she'd like a mountain one. Too late. No, I've got mountain ones here still. Okay. I'm going to stop for the ones I said. Hopefully you know. Stephen Howling, I'll give you one too. I'll give you one as well. I know I might have missed somebody. Okay, Leslie Ann. Okay, last one. Brandy, we'll get you one. But Leslie Ann, if you also want one, please, again, randysmall@yahoo.com, email me, or message me on Whatcom County Weather on Facebook, or, yeah, those Randy Small Photography would also do it, but, yeah, this is a weather, kind of we're off the weather page, so, yes, I do, Brandy, absolutely. I have plenty left over, so that's why and they're really nice calendars, honestly, so, I had some good sales. They're half price right now, by the way. So I've cut them to $10 and I've sold a whole bunch since I did that. So we'll probably put up a post tomorrow. So, okay. Am I missing anything else here to talk about tonight? I've tried to go through everything. Oh, the forecast. Let me just kind of summarize the forecast. Let me just turn this back on and let me just do this as well. I'll come back to the comments here in just a minute. Hold on a second. Let me hit the forecast right here. Can you all see this forecast? So here we go. We got rain tomorrow. We said that. And then snow in the mountains. Probably not quite as much as today, though. Slight chance of snow in the lowlands. Not a huge amount. And maybe elevation. Wednesday morning, Thursday morning. Kind of what I thought after just seeing the quick data. Okay, I got Steven's address. It looks like has come in. Excellent. Make sure you stipulate mountain or landscape, please, too, on that. Otherwise, I'll just send you one or the other. Thursday night rain likely. Not a huge amount, looks like. Then starting to dry. They're still giving a chance of rain on Friday, and they're still calling for a chance of rain on Saturday. Now they have a rain likely on Saturday night with that what we looked at earlier. Okay. Temps are going to probably come a little cooler, but Wednesday night 34 in Linden. So keep an eye on the roads Thursday morning as well. So, and then you can kind of see the warm up, and this is for Linden, but 48 by Saturday, and then 49 Monday, 51 Tuesday. So again, I don't think it's going to be a ton of rain, although that Saturday night, we'll have to see again. But I think we're going to have more dry spells coming here into next week. And then from there, we'll have to take a look at everything. Okay, everyone. What else? Thanks for liking the YouTube and loving the Facebook and the comments and all of that. And we'll give some more calendars away on the next live as well. And we'll touch base with you in a couple nights probably. and we'll keep, we'll keep plugging away here. Josh is going to give the morning snow report. Excellent. I kind of, let's just see what happens. I'm going to put up a post about Mount Baker, how much snow they've gotten. And in fact, let's refresh that right before we leave. How much snow? Well, they're still holding at 19 inches since 7 this morning. So it's probably starting to back off a little bit. Well, it is up there in precip-wise. So yeah, Josh will give a report when he goes to work in the morning. T Enthusiast says the Chuckanet Range encompasses all of those hills. Okay, and I know we growing up called them the Samish Hills, but maybe that was always incorrect. Maybe we should be calling them the Chuckanet Range, and that would be my fault. I need to, again, try to learn these names better. I mean, I kind of know them. I know what they look like. I know what they are. I just don't know all the specific names, and sometimes the ranges as well. So, excellent. Okay. There was one other thing, but yeah, I think we're good enough. Thanks for joining tonight.